Toxicity is one of the most common experiences players report in Valorant. Everyone who queues ranked has encountered it. From open hostility and passive aggressive comments to constant blame that makes the game feel tense and unsafe. Yet, toxicity is often discussed in a very shallow way, reduced to phrases like, people are just toxic, or mute and move on. While muting can help, it doesn't explain why toxicity is so common, why it affects us so strongly, and how to protect our performance without disconnecting from the game. In this video, we'll take a closer look at all these questions. Toxicity in Valorant is not limited to yelling or insults. It includes any behavior that increases stress, fear, or shutdown in teammates. This can look like verbal abuse, sarcasm disguised as jokes, constant criticism, blame shifting after mistakes, or giving unwanted instructions in a condescending tone. It can also be more subtle, long silences after a lost round, exaggerated sighs, or comments that signal resignation like, it's already over. Valorant creates an environment that strongly amplifies emotional reactions. Each round demands high concentration, from aim and abilities to sound cues and communication, all at once. Mistakes are highly visible, and in ranked play, performance is tied to visible numbers like rank and RR, which for many players quietly become a measure of self-worth. Combined with long rounds, anonymous teammates, and constant judgment, this creates a perfect environment for emotional dysregulation. Valorant is not toxic by accident. Its structure intensifies stress responses that already exist in people. So why are people toxic in Valorant? Toxicity often comes from ego threat, the feeling that a mistake means I am bad rather than I made an error. To protect themselves from shame, some players externalize blame. Others react with anger because anger feels more controllable than fear or helplessness. When players feel they are losing control of the game, they try to regain control socially by dominating communication or criticizing others. Anonymity also plays a role. When people don't see each other as full humans, empathy drops and impulsive behavior increases. None of this excuses toxic behavior, but it explains why it happens so frequently, even among players who would never act this way offline. Toxicity does not just hurt feelings, it directly impacts gameplay. Stress increases muscle tension, which makes aim less precise. It reduces working memory, making it harder to track information and adapt mid-round. It disrupts focus, especially during clutches, where calm decision-making is critical. For many players, repeated exposure to toxicity leads to freezing, overthinking, or avoiding initiative entirely. Instead of playing the game, they start playing not to be blamed. Toxicity does not always look the same. There is the openly aggressive player who yells or insults. There is the passive-aggressive teammate who comments after every mistake. There is the backseat gamer who constantly tells others what to do without awareness of timing or tone. There is the player who mentally checks out and spreads hopelessness. And there is targeted toxicity, sexism, racism, or rank shaming, which has a particularly strong emotional impact. Recognizing these patterns helps you respond intentionally instead of emotionally. You are not required to tolerate abuse to be a good teammate. In many cases, muting early is more effective than muting late. Once your nervous system is activated, performance already drops. If you choose to respond verbally, short, neutral, task-focused communication works best. Avoid explaining yourself, defending your intentions, or trying to change the other person's behavior. You can set boundaries without escalation, or disengage entirely and rely on pings and minimal communication. Protecting your focus is not selfish, it is strategic. Arguing rarely resolves toxicity. Sarcasm escalates it. Over-apologizing reinforces blame dynamics, and staying unmuted out of hope that someone will calm down often prolongs stress. You cannot regulate another player's emotions, you can only regulate access to yours. It's important to note that not all criticism is toxic. Constructive communication is specific, respectful, and future-oriented. It focuses on decisions, not character. It doesn't sound like judgment. Learning to tell the difference allows you to keep useful information while discarding emotional noise. Toxicity is loud, but it doesn't deserve your attention. You play best when your mind is steady, not defensive. Protect your focus and let the rest go.